Welcome to Spotlight New England. I'm one of your hosts, Audrey McClelland.
And I'm Ashley Erling.
We had a fun time last night.
We had a very fun time last night. And we were also talking about the heat.
The heat.
And humidity. Ooh. I mean, I think everyone can relate to that at this point. Because I'm not usually one, I don't really think you are either, to complain about the heat.
No, because we love the warm weather. We do.
It's just that humidity that is engulfing us right now.
Yes, it's thick and you feel like you're hitting a wall.
Indoors.
It is indoors, and I was worried about wearing a long sleeve shirt today because I'm like, is it going to be soaking wet?
No.
And on camera.
Well, it's weird because it's also cold because of the AC, but damp. And
right. This is when you get sick, Ashley.
It's a weird.
This is when you get that summer cold.
So weird, and the storms that we've been having.
Yes.
It's been weird, but we did brave all of that, and I'm saying it because I'm proud of us. You know what a baby
It's all Ashley talked about yesterday.
I'm such a baby.
You don't like traveling in the
you know what it is?
Thunder, lightning, rain.
I respect Mother Nature and how powerful she is, and that I cannot compete with that.
And as a fun fact, Ashley will go out of her way to avoid a bridge. I mean, you would actually
if there is
drive
a way.
You would drive extra time, actually probably a lot of extra time to avoid, especially on a not so great weather night.
If I thought I were going to get stuck.
Yes, you don't
if there was
stuck.
Traffic.
Actually, you would have died last night.
Quickly, no.
When I was over the Mount Hope Bridge, actually, I'm forgetting this now. A fire truck was coming over the side. So as we were going almost in the middle, I was thinking about you.
They
pulled us all we all had to move over so that the truck could get by.
There's nowhere to go on Mount Hope Bridge.
I know, and I even it doesn't bother me. But even myself, I was like, okay, this is a little scary.
If it were the Newport Bridge, I'd probably be scared.
Yeah.
I'm more scared of the Newport Bridge.
No, but it was
even though they're both terrifying. Anyway, that's not what we had fun doing.
That's not
what we had fun doing. So we were lucky enough to be invited to the opening of the carriage house at the Elms. So the Elms, of course, is one of the Newport mansion run by the Preservation Society of Newport. They do just such an amazing job with all of their properties. And this carriage house had actually been unused as of late. I don't know for how long. And they've now opened it for dining.
Yes.
You do have to buy a ticket for the Elms to go. So you can't just go and eat there without. So it's part of the whole Elms experience. And this was kind of their media and hospitality opening. So they had some little hors d'oeuvres and great cocktails, but the space
really good.
Is beautiful. That's me filming you.
I know. Do you see my eye? I quickly got to.
You can tell I'm filming because my camera is either dirty or it's so humid that it's blurry.
You did say that.
I did my best.
Actually, it's a beautiful, magical little glow to it. Let me ask you, what did they say that was actually a storage closet?
I think they had been using it as storage right now.
Jeez,
and
beautiful.
So complete reno, stunningly gorgeous, murals on the wall, just, everything beautiful. There's Trudy Cox from the Preservation Society welcoming everyone and thanking everyone. And then, of course, the wonderful people at Stoneacre Hospitality are the ones that are running the food there. And they do just such a great job.
They're incredible.
So this isn't their first foray with the Preservation Society, because they also run the Chinese tea house, over
which was amazing. We did that
Marble
one time.
House, right? At Marble House, and they do the tea there. And so this is kind of like that. This is open for lunch, and Nicole and her team have just done an excellent job with this space.
You got some great footage, Ashley, really showcasing. I mean, you literally just showcased exactly
look at the grounds here.
The grounds were unbelievable. Obviously,
we were in and out because of the weather, so I was trying to get the outside in between the sprinkles, but the grounds there at the Elms are so beautiful, and that was already a part that you could enjoy as well in the grounds there. But now you can walk right on back to the carriage house. Yes, enjoy a lovely lunch.
It's perfect.
Just a high level, just really enjoyable. One of those things that I just want to go do.
I was gonna say, I always forget what we have right here in our own backyard, and it was very magical, and it was actually kind of fun last night having it be a little cloudy because it really did kind of add to that mystique piece of it.
You're right.
But Ashley and I walked a very far time in high heels to get over to where we needed to be.
Just know, if you go to any of the mansions, there's a little bit of a walk involved. But
even
obviously,
that walk was beautiful.
All I cared about was looking good, so I wore heels, which It was
and
foolish.
I was right there with you. Everybody had flats on, but even that walk, because we did have a long walk, it was gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
So we got to add that to more of our list.
So that is now open to the public, and you can go and do that. So look that up in their hours and all of that. But a fun one. The food looks fantastic as well. So
it's perfect.
Highly recommend. We have some more good treats to talk about coming up.
That's a good segue. I like that.
On today's episode. Did you like that?
I did like
just
that.
That right now.
Yes.
Stick around. We'll be right back after this quick break. They have become a beloved treat here in New England. You may have seen them at a fabulous event or party or boutique hotel. So many places they are popping up, and I'm talking about Seacoast Sweets. If you haven't seen them yet, I'm sure you'll notice them now. They're in boutiques in different places all across New England. We're so excited to have Danielle here, the owner, with us to learn more about it. And I'm trying to remember, Audrey, I don't know if you remember, I don't recall my first experience with Seacoast Sweets. It was...
What was
Probably
it?
At some event. No, I don't recall.
Oh, you don't recall? You know, I think ours, were we together at that event in Newport?
Well, we
definitely... No, you had definitely tried before.
I definitely, as soon as, I don't know, I can't remember what, I know at Bloom, we...
Oh, they're great for you. They're great. They have did a wonderful job really spreading the word. Yeah.
I think because for us it's been over 7 years now.
Okay.
So I think.
And I know we had you on the show, but that wasn't.
But
I don't think that was the first time.
Prior to being on the show, I think there was some local press and.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not.
But 7 years.
Tell us how. Tell us what the story is with Seacoast Sweets and how you got started with it.
Yes. So as I mentioned, it's for my husband and I about a little over 7 years now. So Seacoast Sweets started up in Newburyport, Massachusetts. Hence the name. That's the Seacoast region up there. So it was a grandfather's peppermint patty recipe. So for many years, it was the tradition during the holidays for family and friends to have these peppermint patties. So there was a young lady. It was her family's recipe, and she started to create the shell and the concept of Seacoast Sweets. So it was there, and the story is kind of funny because where my husband was formerly in the military, and so kind of after that he had the entrepreneurial itch that he wanted to scratch, and I was like the nervous Nelly thinking like, what are you doing? No. So we were actually watching a Bruins hockey playoff game in March, and I kind of tuned out and scrolling through my phone, quite honestly. And we were at the point of trying to look for ideas or concept or businesses. So we kind of came across Seacoast Sweets, and it was a very young company, one-woman show, and it was like 10 o'clock at night, and he kind of looked at me like, no, we're watching the hockey game right now. What are you doing over there? But the next morning we, made some phone calls and started looking at stuff and spreadsheets and dove off of a cliff head first.
Truly, because you had no experience in the food business before this, correct?
None.
That's crazy.
Like I said, I blame my husband. I blame him going to Babson and getting his MBA, and here we are.
What was it about that brand and what they were doing that attracted you to it, especially knowing that, you hadn't really come from the food industry?
I think the attraction was the fact that it was so young. There were no policies and procedures and best practices, and so it was very young and organic, but we kind of saw that this has really great potential. And then with his business background, so again, it just kind of made sense. But it has been a crazy ride, roller coaster, exciting, and and we still have a lot more to do. So it's really exciting to see how much the brand has grown and the excitement that we get from it. And
I was just going to ask you that
coffee shop in Alaska that has Seacoast Sweets.
Are you serious?
Yes.
No way.
My husband put us on like a wholesale platform, which has allowed us to grow a lot in that vertical of the business.
Right.
So you can see the different pockets throughout the entire United States,
cool.
like California, New York, and places that we wouldn't be able to reach organically ourselves.
And interesting that they would, gravitate towards something that to them is not local. and go for that as opposed, because I'm sure there are other things that maybe
they could have done
they could use that's closer to them. So I mean that's really
it's candy too, so it puts a smile on someone's face. I mean, we're handmade, small batch. It can be really casual, or it can be something that's really dressed up and bougie at a black tie event.
That's a good point.
It's fun to see and explore all those different ways.
So take us through your journey a little bit. You started it was peppermint patties, but you have many more things now.
Yes. So there's peppermint patty, and then coconut, peanut butter, and s'mores.
And it's impossible to pick one.
It is impossible. It is impossible. No, I do love the peppermint. It's like my
peppermint's
classic,
very
original.
classic. I mean, it's very nostalgic. You kind of think of like that kid in a candy shop, or like the grandfather, having the peppermint patty on the bench reading his newspaper.
Yes.
So it's really so. And I think we were really gravitated towards that vision of the brand too. I think my husband was, in all honesty, he was like, "Okay, Danielle likes this idea, green light."
Oh, thank God, we're gonna go for it. We're gonna go for it.
I think it was like HVAC he was looking at, and I'm looking at like pretty bows and chocolate.
That's so funny. I didn't realize it was.
Can I make the box?
And it is. Well, Audrey was saying actually, before we started the show, it is beautiful. I think probably that's part of the allure.
Yeah.
What a great job you've done with the packaging, with the logos. It's very nautical coastal inspired.
Yeah.
Like, it looks beautiful.
Very identifiable. Whenever like I'm out and I see, I'm like, I immediately know it's you guys.
Oh,
yeah,
fantastic.
you're right.
You.
You know what I mean? You just know. But like, you were saying there's like highs and lows, and what are some of like the big highs? I mean, what are some highs along the way?
The big highs. I think one of the that very first year, so we started up in Newburyport, but within like 5 months we moved to Pawtucket.
Right.
The commute was just, it was insane.
Yeah.
Like, we had a young family. We were driving home at midnight, like trying to have a full day up there. But we had a local movie producer in Boston that was doing the wrap bags.
Okay.
So somebody's assistant had reached out to us, and at first, like, is this real? Is it not real?
Right.
Like, do I make all of these patties and then somebody's trying to like scam you?
Yeah.
And, so it was real, and that was just really fun because the middle school girl in me, I think it was like Mark Wahlberg, who was super supportive of New England businesses.
Yes.
And I remember my husband's like, "I'm going to do the delivery." I'm like,
No.
"Oh my God, I want to go." I'm like, "I want to go." I'm like, "Did you see anybody?"
Even if I just sat in the car and like watched with binoculars in the back.
Giddy. So that's, stuff like that is like fun to think of, just, different people and different communities.
Was that one of the first, or?
That was one of the first.
How do you think they found you?
I think I have no idea. I think just like on the website.
Yeah.
Wow. Good marketing, Kevin.
That's
good job.
Yes, he did. That business background.
SEO is working.
He's like the wizard behind the curtain.
It's amazing.
No, but that's a big
I think they were trying, because we actually asked, when you're first starting to get customers, you're asking like, how did you hear about Seacoast Sweets?
Yeah.
And their whole premise of what they were doing was they wanted to support local businesses. So because we started up in Newburyport, Massachusetts, Boston for us was that first initial organic growth there with retailers and with hotels. So there was a buzz that was starting to create there. And then like as we moved and expanding our market and our reach.
That is so cool.
And so that was fun.
I was going to say, I see you pop up everywhere. Every like local store that I go to, like wonderful gift shops. I love a gift shop. Like,
they're
do you know, it's like a boutique like store where you can buy like special gifts for people, and I just see your things everywhere, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there they are again in different hotels and just so many different partnerships. So well, 2 questions: where have you expanded to, and 2, like, how does that feel?
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. I mean, I think any business owner can tell you that there's highs of highs and lows of lows where you're like crying, like, why did we do this? What's going on? And then, celebrating something. So you learn not to hold on to either one of those emotions like too long, because they'll quickly pass. But we've expanded, and it's different verticals is helpful for us. And it's definitely just been kind of a crazy journey, and we're still on that roller coaster of a ride.
You know, it's an interesting ride because, you know, whenever we have entrepreneurs here, and we love the honesty. I love that people open up and say, listen, it isn't all like rainbows
no, we're not
and
driving around in our Lamborghini.
Right. but I think it's so important because there are so many entrepreneurs out there that need to hear that, like, oh my goodness, thank God I'm not alone, because this is a successful business.
Yeah.
But how do you get through? Because I love what you just said, you know, it just kind of balances each other out. But doing it with your husband, does that help too? Kind of just like, listen, on a low day.
Yes. I mean, there's definitely times when we're in production, and thankfully there's no other employees there because we're yelling at one another. It has definitely helped because in the beginning, like, I didn't know how to write a business plan, or I didn't know all of this stuff. So thankfully we had
I was just thinking if I had to write a business plan, what it would be.
You're like, what?
You know, being able to do all of these things, which was a huge resource, because a lot of times business owners struggle, like, okay, I have to pay someone, and you're looking at your cash flow and like, when's the next sale going to come in? So it's nice that we could lean on each other for that, which is helpful because there's definitely those challenging times, but super exciting times too. I mean, when you get that big, like, white whale of a customer, you know, maybe there was a hotel that we had been working on for like 3 years, and we're like, we can do it, we can do it. And you get that opportunity to prove that you can do it.
Yeah.
And, you know, behind the scenes, you're making candy till 1 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
But you're getting it done. Like,
do it.
Say yes and figure it out later.
I was going to say, I don't know, you know, it's amazing to me really how you keep up with it, because it's a family business. Now you've even gotten your kids involved, but like, I truly do see you at so many different things, and people all want Seacoast Sweets. So like, how do you keep up with it all?
You know, we definitely have to be aware of production, like the production numbers, and staying, like, keeping your foot on the gas pedal. There's, as I mentioned, we have different verticals of the business which come at different times throughout the year. So that's helpful in order to balance everything out. And then still looking at the growth too of the company and where we want to go next, and changes that we want to make in order to be able to make more candy to keep up with that demand for it.
Yeah, and I know you guys do like limited editions sometimes.
We do.
I'm a big follower, as you know.
Actually definitely knows her Seacoast Sweet.
Yes, in March we created the Irish cream. So that's fun. We do limited edition runs of that. So, which is done in our little mini.
Okay.
And the mini, we don't keep the mini on our website.
It's just like a lucky find if you find it.
Here and there, like, we'll announce limited runs on that. And that's something that we actually hope to do more of this holiday season.
Oh, so that's a great idea.
We're looking at some machinery for that.
Very cool.
Some automation that's kind of what's on our whiteboard right now.
Has it been hard to kind of like not come up with the flavors, but like pick flavors that live up to your standard? Because I'm telling you, every single one of these flavors is so freaking good that, like, I mean, how does every single one of them just become like a hit?
Yeah, that's a good question.
They, the flavors were established years ago. So we have always kept the recipes the same.
So they are the same from the beginning.
The integrity of the product. The Irish cream that we did, that took a little bit of, like, lots of taste testing and research on it. But, you know, they're all handmade, so it is time consuming.
Yeah.
So we've continued to be able to add efficiencies where we need to in order to make that demand. So that's probably one of the challenges for us right now that we're looking to solve more, is just making more candy, because it sells out during Q4 is just bonkers. Which is a great problem.
But on your end, I see what you mean.
Yes. Yeah. So we're kind of striving and Kevin's got his head down right
All right, Kevin. All right, Kevin. Pressure's on.
I love it. I love it.
But they are fun.
Yeah.
And, you know, we've done fun little things like with flavors and paired them up with cocktails.
Yeah.
So it's
so smart. You guys are just, you know, just consistently evolving and thinking of new ways. It's, you know,
trying
it's great.
to keep building the brand and, you know, listening to our customers and different partnerships and stuff. And really, you know, we're small enough that we can pivot quickly.
Yeah.
Which is
a good point.
So helpful. And really kind of meet everyone's needs. But a lot of people ask us, like, how about a new flavor? Yeah. And it's like, you don't think of like, well, there's packaging involved.
Right. No,
like,
so
not that easy.
Like, have you tried all of them yet? Because they're all really good. You might not need to know it. Right. So where can people find you, though, if they're kind of looking for you out in the wild?
Out in the wild.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have our website, seacoastsweets.com, and we do local deliveries, too. So right now, with the heat, it's
tough.
This is the time of year where I get agita shipping everything. But we use cold packs, so we can ship with expedited carriers. And then also local shops. So you can go online. There's a store locator tab. And you can, you know, do your holiday planning now.
Yeah.
Love it.
We love
Get it
that.
in early.
Get it out there.
We do a lot of corporate gifting. So kind of Christmas in July.
Yeah.
That's
it. Yes.
Love it.
You can put on our website like delayed shipments and pick your holiday time. So
sounds like heaven.
Amazing.
Danielle, thanks for stopping by.
No, thank you so much for all the support.
We love you. We love the product, and we've always
really
enjoyed, you know, working with you over the years, and we're just so happy to see your growth and continued growth.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us.
We're very appreciated for it.
And like Danielle just said, we have a little more Christmas in July coming up.
Right.
Stay tuned.
Welcome back to Spotlight New England. So we're talking now, really my favorite time of year, Christmas in July.
But only besides real Christmas.
Besides real Christmas.
Christmas in July.
We're getting ready. We're getting our appetites wet.
I was going to say, though, are they playing Christmas movies right now?
Oh, yes, they are. Okay. Hallmark right now, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Crank that AC.
It is it's a great time of year, but this is so exciting for us. So Old World Christmas, they reached out to us because they are actually, it's funny, my husband was gifted from Old World Christmas a pickle ornament because he obviously makes pickles. And they come in these gorgeous little boxes, which are so beautiful. But they sent us along some samples to show because I just wanted to. So these are, get this, these are handcrafted, right?
Beautiful.
The finest ornaments. This is using old age techniques to make all of this magic come to life. Look at these nautical ones. I love that boat.
Yeah, they sent us a bunch of kind of like New England ones.
These are blown glass ornaments. So you have Santa with a cute little surfboard. And we have over here, obviously the lobster. But not only that, if you go on the website and you search by interest, it could be fantasy, it could be sports. I mean, whatever it is, they have an ornament for you. And then they have these gorgeous, this is the Seas and Greetings. Smell that. This is so beautiful. And they also have two of these globes. Look at this beautiful globe. Santa's on this adorable little like sea turtle. I'm telling you, this is such a great just destination online to go check out. They really do have the most gorgeous Christmas decor and ornaments and everything.
These are so beautiful. These are almost like heirloom, you know, and I love the throwback to kind of, you know, Christmases past. That's been a big thing you've been seeing more and more. These are just really, really gorgeous.
I love it. So, you know, I'm a Christmas girl. So the second that I saw like Old World Christmas that they had reached out for us to talk about Christmas in July. Celebrated all year. This was like the perfect go-to for us.
I love it. They're beautiful. Thank you so much to Old World Christmas for sending these along for our little July celebration. And thank you for joining us today on Spotlight New England. We'll see you next time.